So what I'm going to show you is actually now a really tricky bit of code. So you want to watch really, really carefully. Now, if you think you've been following it carefully, but still it's not working, there is a screenshot at the end of today's program, or the end of the PowerPoint, that you can actually compare in case you missed something. Now, what we're going to do is we're still going to keep it, so we're deleting the top item of our leaderboard. However, we're going to set it up so that we're going to insert our items into the correct order. So that way the slowest values, the largest ones, are going to be at the top of your leaderboard. Now, if your list is not sorted, you're going to want to delete them. So you do that just by clicking on it and clicking that X. Now, I've left one value in there just so I can test it, so I can actually show you guys the program as you work it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our control, and if we're going to be inserting our reaction time, we have to compare our reaction time to each item of our leaderboard. So we want to grab our repeat block, and we're going to repeat it for the length of our leaderboard. That way, it doesn't matter if we've got one item or 5, our leaderboard is still going to be comparing. It's still be running through each and every item of our list. The only downside is that repeat block doesn't keep track of whether you're at the first item or, let's say, the last item. So we're going to make a counter variable. So make a variable, and you want to call it counter. So we're going to set our counter variable to 1 because that's our first item in our list. So we've got a loop that runs through whatever items we have in our leaderboard. So if we go to our control, we then have to compare where it actually goes in our list. So in other words, we're going to grab that greater than, and we're going to check if the reaction time is bigger than the item. And we're going to do an item at, instead of item 1, we're going to do item at our counter variable. So we're going to check if our reaction time is bigger than our, basically whatever item we're currently on. So if it's comparing it to the first item or the second item. Now, of course, we need to actually increase the value of our counter variable. Otherwise, it's always going to be comparing our reaction time to the leaderboard. So make sure it's in that loop, not in the if statement. We're actually going to increase our counter by 1. So if our reaction time is bigger than the first item, we're going to insert our reaction time. So we want to make sure that we grab our reaction time. So there's lots of variables in here. So make sure that you're double checking that you're getting those variables in the right place. So we're going to insert our reaction time at position counter. So anytime it finds a value that's actually bigger than, it's going to insert it. Now that works really great if we have a large number. So let's test this. Reaction time is 75. So if I click on that, you'll see that that's been entered into my leaderboard at the top, where it should be. However, this doesn't actually check what happens if it's the best reaction time. So here, I've got a reaction time of 75. It's not entered into the list. Let's see if I can get the even quicker time. There you go, 64. It's not in our list. And that's because it's not bigger, so 65 is not bigger than 148 or 175. So it's not actually going to get added if it's the best score, which is really not what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another variable that allows us to check if we've actually added anything to our list. Because if we've not added anything, then we know it's the best score, and it just needs to be added to the bottom. So I'm going to go to my variable again. Now this is something called a flag. Now a flag is either true or false. So you want to create that variable, and in the next video, we're going to set that to the value, and we're going to solve our problem where we can't actually add the best score to our leaderboard.